Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have come with a video containing summary of the lesson Elixir of Life from class 10. So let's quickly see the main points of this lesson and in a short duration complete the whole chapter. But before that, students, if you are viewing my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. I suggest you to watch the video till end because it's going to be very useful and informative. Do not miss any part of it and share with your friends. So let's quickly get started with the chapter, and very firstly let's see about the author. So the author is the very famous personality, very famous scientist. It's Sir C.V. Raman. So he has written this lesson and he has given us the importance of water in this. So let's learn about author first. So Sir C.V. Raman, who was born on 1888 and died in the year 1970, had a keen interest in science even from his boyhood days. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930 for his famous discovery, Raman effect. Okay, so we know the theory of Raman effect, for which he was awarded with the Nobel Prize for Physics. Later on, the government of India awarded him with the Bharat Ratna, and the Soviet Union honored him with the International Lenin Prize in 1957. Okay, so he has many awards on his name. So this was a brief introduction about Sir C.V. Raman. Now let's move on towards the summary of the chapter. So as said, this lesson gives us the importance of water. So let's see with the eyes of C.V. Raman, what are his ideas and what is he going to say us about water. So Sir C.V. Raman has emphasized on the importance of the world's most common liquid. Man has been searching for an imaginary elixir of life for ages, but the true medicine is very near to our hands. It is the simple water. Okay, so he has emphasized on the importance of water. It's the most common liquid in the world, and man has been searching for the imaginary magic of life, like some liquid which he gets, and he gets all the cure from all the illness and the problems. So the scientist C.V. Raman, he says that it's very near to us, that elixir of life which we are finding or we are hunting from ages. It's very near to us, it's in our hands, and it is the simple water. Okay, so that is the importance of water here, that it is a true medicine for many things. Now he recalls seeing the Libyan desert on one side and the valley of the Nile in Egypt on the other side. He says the presence of water from the river Nile was the reason for the vast difference between the two neighboring landscapes. Okay, so he's standing in between the Libyan desert and the river valley Nile in Egypt. So when he stands in between, one side having a desert, the other side a good Nile valley, he sees the vast difference, that one side is covered with all the greeneries and the other side is totally deserted. So he says the main reason for this is the water which is coming from river Nile. That has made the difference and made the valley so wonderful with such a good landscapes. Now river Nile is the life-giving waters that has created and sustained the whole country of Egypt. So the whole country of Egypt which is existing is on the basis of the river Nile. Through ages it has been flowing and it's providing many life-giving things to the country. Okay, so further he says that the water is the most powerful thing we have on earth, and yet we do not understand its total significance. So what happens here, he says that water is the most powerful thing, as it has many benefits in it. So we have to take care of it and we have to feel its importance, but we fail to understand that. Okay, then water adds beauty to the countryside, be it a small stream or the rain-fed tanks that are a common sight in South India. So highlighting about South India, he says that water adds beauty to the countryside, be it any country. If water is present there, it adds the beauty. And be it a small stream, let it be a very small stream, or let it be a rain-fed tanks, the tanks in which the waters are fed, which are stored. Let it be a very common sight. That is very common sight in South India. He's especially focusing on South India, and he says that be it a small stream or a tanks there, but it's a very common sight, but it's add to the beauty of that countryside. Now, the power of water to carry silt is one of its most remarkable aspects, since it is silt that makes the soil fertile and helps to grow various crops. Now he gives much importance and in detail he describes this, how the water is playing an important role in carrying the silt. Now what are the silt? These are the top layer of the soil or the rocks which has nutrients in it. And when it gets accumulated on a land, and it is very fertile, and you can grow various crops over there. So the power of water is to carry that fertile and the nutrients and minerals of the soil, and it helps the soil to grow very good crops on it. So this is the power of water. It can carry silt from one place to another. Swiftly flowing water carries fairly large and heavy particles, while the finer particles, which are more in number, are carried to a great distances. Now, the water which is rushing up, which is flowing very fast, it carries big particles and it has big rocks and silt in it. But the small particles which are there, which flows along with the small streams, which flows slowly, those are carried to a greater distance, to the far away distance, and that are more in number. Now he says that though it is flow of water which has contributed soil from the rocks of the earth crust, sometimes it can wash away the soil, making agriculture impossible there. So he says that never doubt the flow of water is contributing in making the soil fertile because of the breaking of the rocks from earth crust and giving many of the nutrients to the soil. So it has added, water has helped us, but it also sometimes washes away the fertile soil and it makes the agriculture impossible there. And why does it happen? When the flow of water is not checked. Okay, so conservation of rainwater becomes a huge responsibility when soil erosion is not checked. Now, preventive steps could be terracing of the land, construction of bunds to check the flow of water, adoption of the practice of contour cultivation, and the planting of appropriate types of vegetation. Okay, so if this flow of water becomes very heavy and it's very fast and it's continuous, then it may be harmful. It may lead to soil erosion. So how can we prevent this? We can prevent this by having terracing of land, by constructing the bunds, and by practicing contour cultivation. We have to plant various types of vegetation, trees and plants which may hold the roots and which may hold the soil, the fertile soil in it. So this is how you can preserve soil from getting eroded. Okay, then Indian agriculture depends on seasonal rainfall. Hence, everything possible should be done to conserve rainwater and enable its use for agriculture. So being an Indian, we know that Indian agriculture depends on the seasonal rainfall, and that is why it's very important to conserve the rainwater, to preserve the rainwater and help and use that water in agricultural fields later on. Okay, then the author also brings in other benefits of water, like using boats for a cheaper transport system and hydroelectric power, which can uplift rural areas of India. So there are also other benefits apart from being an elixir of life, apart from giving a good soil and fertility to the soil. It also helps us in transportation system. The boats, it is the cheapest means of transport. The hydroelectric power, you can save your electricity if you generate with it. And it also will help the rural areas to uplift, to develop. And this is how India will also be developing its economy. So this is how he is giving the importance of water. Then, this would enable underground water to be tapped to a greater extent than at present. So if we use these water bodies as transportation system, and if we have hydroelectric power stations, and this would help to preserve water, underground water, and the water may be tapped, it may be preserved, and it can be used for a large number of days. Like it can be helped to preserve water for the greater time. Now water is both the most common and uncommon liquid. It has life sustaining qualities and has to be taken care of. So at last C.V. Raman says that water is the most common liquid and it is also an uncommon liquid because people do not give it so much of importance. Now water is water has a life sustaining qualities, means water can give life to anybody. Like for example, human beings, they depend on water, animals, they depend on water, plants, they depend on water. So each and everything which is living in this world needs water. So water is playing such an important role. It is having a life sustaining qualities and it has to be taken care of. Okay, so this is how C.V. Raman gives the importance of water in this chapter. I hope the whole chapter is clear within these few points of summary. And if you liked the video, I hope this video was very informative and useful for you all. If you liked it, do hit the like button and share with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. We'll be back soon with more such videos. Thank you.